You know that feeling, right? That little tickle in your throat, that moment you just know you're getting sick. But have you ever stopped to think about what's actually happening inside your body? Well, today we're going to dive into the incredible biology of staying well and how to win the constant battle our bodies are fighting.
Yeah, we've all been there. A fever, a cough, a stomach ache, it's just part of life. But what is going on inside our bodies when that happens? It's a question we've all asked ourselves. And, to really find the answer, we first have to figure out what it means to be truly well in the first place.
Right. So, to really get a grip on what sickness is, we've got to start with its opposite, health. And I'm willing to bet that the real definition of healthy is a lot bigger and a lot more interesting than you might think. It's definitely more than just not having a fever. Okay, so get this. The official definition of health isn't just about the absence of disease. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. That's a total game changer, right? It's a three-legged stool. Your body has to be fit, your mind has to be at peace, and your social connections have to be strong. I mean, think about it. You can have no fever at all, but if you're under constant stress, are you really healthy? According to this, no, you're not. And, getting to that state of complete well-being, well, it's a real balancing act. A lot of it comes down to what you do, your nutrition, your hygiene, your lifestyle choices like sleep and exercise. But a huge part of it is also stuff that's bigger than just us as individuals. We're talking about our environment, our economic and social conditions, things like that. That's why health really is a team sport. It's this mix of personal responsibility and a massive community effort. Okay, so now we know what healthy means. Let's flip the coin and look at what happens when that balance gets disturbed. It's time to meet the enemy, disease. And it turns out there are two very different faces to this enemy. And here's the fundamental split. Think of it like a fork in the road. On one path, you've got communicable or infectious diseases. These are the ones that can spread from person to person, and they're caused by tiny invaders we call pathogens, things like COVID-19 or malaria. Then, on the other path, you have non-communicable diseases. These don't spread. They're usually caused by a mix of genetics, lifestyle, and your environment. We're talking about things like diabetes, cancer, and heart disease. Two totally different playbooks. Let's zoom in on that first category for a second, the infectious ones. They're all caused by these microscopic troublemakers called pathogens. You can think of them as a most wanted list for your body. You've got the famous ones like bacteria and viruses, think tuberculosis or the flu, but the list doesn't stop there. There are also protozoa, which cause things like malaria, fungi like ringworm, and even worms. It's a whole rogues gallery out there. Now, after hearing all that, you might be a little worried. But here's the amazing part. You are not defenseless, not even close. Your body has this incredibly sophisticated, built-in army that's on duty 24/7, ready to fight off these invaders. So let's take an inside look at your personal defense system. Your first line of defense is something called your innate immunity. The best way to think about this is like the guards at a castle gate. It's the system you're born with, and it's nonspecific. That just means it doesn't care what the invader is. If it's not supposed to be there, it attacks. Your skin is like the castle wall. Mucus is like a trap for intruders. And your stomach acid, well, that's like a fiery moat. It's a seriously powerful first response. But what happens if something gets past those guards? Well, that's when you call in the special forces. This is your acquired immunity. It's like the intelligence agency of your body. It's not just a brute force attack. This system is smart. It learns to identify very specific enemies. It designs custom-made weapons called antibodies to fight them. And, this is the most important part, it remembers. It keeps a file on every bad guy it's ever beaten. So, if that same pathogen dares to show up again, boom, your body knows exactly what to do and shuts it down. Fast. So, your body is an incredible fighter, for sure. But sometimes, even the best army needs a little backup. And that help comes in two main flavors. Treatment, which is all about fighting a battle that's already started, and prevention, which is the genius move of stopping the battle before it even begins. Okay, so when you're already sick, treatment has two main goals. It's kind of a two-pronged attack. First, you want to reduce the symptoms. Bring down the fever, ease the pain, just make yourself feel better. But the second, and absolutely crucial goal, is to go after the source of the problem, to actually kill the pathogen that's causing the illness in the first place. And this brings us to something that is so important to understand. We have these amazing weapons called antibiotics, but they are highly specialized. They only work on bacteria. I'm going to say that again. They only work on bacteria.
Taking an antibiotic for a virus, like the common cold or the flu, it's completely useless. It's like trying to unlock your phone with your house key. It's the wrong tool for the job, and it can actually cause bigger problems down the line. This is exactly why it is absolutely critical to take antibiotics only when a doctor prescribes them. And just as important, you have to finish the entire course, even if you start feeling better. Why? Because if you don't, you might leave a few of the tougher bacteria alive, and they can learn, evolve, and become superbugs that are way, way harder to kill next time. So treatment is obviously a lifesaver. But what if you could stop the fight before it even starts? What if you could give your body's special forces the enemy's playbook before the invasion even happens? Well, that's the genius and the real power of prevention. And the #1 tool we have for prevention is vaccination. Think of a vaccine as a boot camp for your immune system. Here's how it works. First, a safe, weakened, or killed version of the pathogen is introduced. That's the training mission. Second, your body sees it, studies it, and creates that all-important memory file, complete with the right antibodies. And third, if the real bad guy ever shows up, your body doesn't hesitate. It's already trained, it has the intel, and it launches a rapid, overwhelming response to crush the threat before you even feel sick. It's brilliant. All right, we've talked about what it means to be healthy, we've met the enemy, disease, and we've seen our body's incredible defense systems. So now, let's put it all together. Let's create the ultimate health playbook, your personal guide to winning this fight. First up, your personal playbook. These are the things that are totally within your control. And honestly, they're the basics, but they are so powerful. Eating a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, and making sure you get enough sleep. That's the foundation for everything. Add in good personal hygiene, and then try to avoid things like smoking or too much alcohol. It's all about giving your body the best possible chance to defend itself. But remember what we said earlier, health is a team sport. So there's also a community playbook. Your personal efforts are great, but they're even more powerful when the whole community is on board. This means things like making sure there's clean drinking water, having proper waste disposal and sanitation, and of course, participating in public health initiatives like vaccination programs. The bottom line is, you can't be a truly healthy person in a sick community. It just doesn't work. You know, if there is one single idea to take away from this entire conversation, it's this one. Prevention is better than cure. It's an old saying, but it is profoundly true. It's smarter, it's cheaper, and it saves a whole lot of suffering. It is the absolute best strategy we have. So that brings us to the big final question. After all this, is being healthy just a matter of luck? Are we just hoping we don't draw the short straw, or that we manage to dodge a random virus? And the answer is a clear, powerful no. Good health isn't about luck. It's about awareness. It's about prevention. It's about discipline. It's about understanding how your amazing body works and what you can do to support it. Because understanding the diseases, understanding the fight, well, that's the very first step to defeating them.